What's an embarrassing moment you're willing to share? I bumped into someone in a crowd of kids and said, "Excuse me, little guy." He was a little person. All the others in the group were actual kids. What are the odds? Luckily, he didn't seem to hear me. I was standing third in line at a gas station on September 9th, 2019. Cashier, that'll be 9.11, said 911 me, without thinking. Tis the season. Nobody laughed and I got the stink eye from the cashier. OMG, this haunts me deeply till this day. First day of high school, I'm in my 4th period class. The teacher is an average-looking 30-ish-year-old guy. He wanted us to know more about him, so after he finished telling us about himself, he went around the room to each person and made us stand up and introduce ourselves and tell the class something you learned about the teacher today. Welp, it was my turn. I stood up and was like, "Hi, my name is, and today I learned that you're really hot." Literally, the class went silent. The teacher was physically uncomfortable. I hate 14-year-old me. 2 weeks ago I began my drive home from work. 1 minute into my 35-min drive I let out a fart and sharted. I drove 5 mins with lifting my ass up off the seat. I finally stopped in a parking lot. Lucky for me, my 8-year-old son's travel backpack was in my car. I stripped off my pants in the car and cleaned up using hand wipes that were in the pack and put on running shorts I had for the remainder of the drive home. I'm 40, my wife found it hilarious. I had to own up to it as I came home wearing running shorts with a button-up and tie on. I mean, it's gotta be when I was 14 playing football with some friends at the park and absolutely shit myself. Just aborted the game mid-play and ran. Shit streaming down my leg, kids shouting for me to come back. I just took off. Had to wait a few blocks away to get picked up. Broke my front tooth in half in the 4th grade in the morning before class because I walked into a basketball pole while watching some other kids play LMFAO. I might actually have the worst tolerance known to man. Once, I accidentally took an entire 200 mg edible, forgot to split it when I told my overprotective parents I wanted to try weed. I'm not exaggerating, this was weed, it was from a dispensary and professionally tested. I spent 2 hours straight staring cross-eyed at my mom and smiling because she had glowing, rippling skin and I thought she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my entire life. For a couple minutes, she'd also transformed into this round, claymation-style cartoon character. Apparently they were asking me questions to see if I was oriented, but I was too busy laughing like a hyena to answer. When Mom was about to help me to my room later, I was laughing so hard I almost threw up all over the couch. After she left me to rest, I was craving water, but I didn't want to wake the angel my mom up and was too out of it to remember how to call her. I spent another hour staring at my wall hallucinating and not even noticing when she came in to check on me, until I fell asleep. I was hungover for 3 days straight and to this day I never hear the end of it. Some people just can't handle their edibles. One of my most embarrassing moments was during a school presentation when I completely blanked and started rambling about something totally unrelated. My classmates looked so confused and I could feel my face turning red. We laughed about it later, but in the moment, I just wanted to disappear. It was a good reminder to not take myself too seriously. I used to get vacation anxiety, throwing up, diarrhea, stuff like that, I guess, because I wasn't home or somewhere I was used to. My family went to South Carolina, a nice family trip. My mom asked if I wanted to go with her and get donuts and I was up early and said sure. We went and got donuts at a place close by and on the way back, my stomach made the noises, so I'm trying to tell her maybe let's kinda speed a bit or something, then it's so bad I can't even sit in the passenger seat and I'm telling her pull over somewhere. Now, please, we finally get to a 711 and I know I'm fucked. But I tried rushing to the bathroom. As I walk in, the nicest, most unsuspecting cashier said, "Hi, how are you?" As I answer, "I'm good, thanks." As I start shitting myself, I walked in and started shitting myself until I got to the bathroom. At that point, I'm using practically all the toilet paper. I clean myself up, clean the seat, throw my underwear away under tons of paper towels, and kinda politely try and sneak away. I stopped wearing underwear when I got into my teen years and started wearing very specific pants. I no longer felt restricted, nor did I get nearly as many UTIs as before. My mom's dog would chew the crotch of any underwear or pants that specifically women wear. I did not notice my pants had the hole from being chewed. I walked around for a good 4 hours or so wondering why it felt so breezy. Nobody said anything. I accidentally put my face directly into a male teacher's nether region when I looked up after tying my shoelaces in a semi-crowded corridor. It's been 3 years and I can't live this down. Farted extremely loud in the supermarket Sainsbury's last year. I have too many stories of wind breakage to even write. Went to my local convenience store and spoke to the shop owner who was Indian, and I accidentally spoke in his accent. fell over in town causing my legs to fly in the air and I landed flat on my back. And many more. My husband's grandmother, Rhonda, was on her deathbed. She was 95. When I saw her, she looked horrible. I have never seen someone so marked for death before. Anyways, my husband's entire immediate family sat by her bedside and took turns saying some loving words to her while she was passing. I walked into the room and instinctually said, "Hey Rhonda, how are you?" Everyone looked at me like that was the dumbest fucking question. And like a genius, I smoothly pivot to, "It's good to see you." Went to the bank with a big glob of cheese on my shirt collar, wondered why the teller was smirking at me, until I got home. I sat in a chair at school and it broke. Not good for a big boy, not good at all. It's classic, I know it happened to some. I waved back to someone who's waving at my direction. Turns out they are waving at someone beside me. I have so many, but here's one. In high school, I used to sew my own clothes. I would buy old prom dresses, and I would make them into those very wide-legged pants. I was wearing a pair one day and was late to class. I slipped on the pants, fell onto my face, and slid into the middle of the hallway. Everyone stopped and laughed, then went on with their business. The assistant principal came and helped me up. I was late to class and by then everyone had heard about it. I drank a milkshake with my nose not knowing how a straw worked when I was 4. Me and the high school sweetheart were seeking a little alone time while her sister was bowling a half-mile up the street. Managed to get the clothes off and just getting revved up on the living room couch when 4 plainclothes cops hit the front door, so friggin' hard pieces flew. GF scooped clothes and made down the hallway before I knew what the noise was. Neighbor thought we broke in and so did the Big 4, as we called the stress unit boys in the unmarked. Longest 10 minutes of my life getting questioned buck naked while they thoroughly enjoyed my embarrassment cuffed with a full-on. So glad it was pre-camera days lol. I broke a guy's nose by accident in the backseat of my car once when we were having sex. We were in high school at the time. Very embarrassing. At one of my old call center jobs, a client was expressing hesitation with the services the company provides and only wanted to speak to a certain team member, but they were busy at the time with another client. It's not an outbound type call center where we can call the client back really, it's just a you get who you get kind of deal. What I wanted to tell the client was that any team member they get on the phone is capable enough to handle their request. What did I tell this client instead? That our team members are well endowed. I blanked and couldn't find the words, and I've literally never said that expression before in my life, so why I did it over a recorded call to a client? I dunno.